Hello, thank you for coming to watch this video. So this is a video of a planetscape in watercolour, which I decided to give a try. I haven't used watercolour very much, so this was a new experience for me and I'm really pleased with the way that it came out. So here I'm just sketching a rough idea of what I'm going to actually draw. So I drew in some mountains and where the horizon was going to be and a couple of little planets that I was going to paint around later. So I used violet, rose madder hue and cerulean blue hue, and these are just W.H. Smith's watercolours because I didn't want to get any really expensive watercolours in case I wasn't really going to use them. So just three simple colours. Later on I do add some Chinese white and some black. I can't remember the name of the black, but a black colour. So I'm just mixing the paints up here with a little bit of water because they're watercolours, and I will start painting soon. So I actually have 2 cups of water. One is for rinsing the brush and the other one is for putting clear water into the paint so that I don't get other colours contaminating the paints. So what I'm doing here is I'm just going over the bits that I want to paint with the watercolours at the moment with some clear water. It's kind of, it lets you blend a little bit easier. It's a technique I learned in an art class a while ago, which I unfortunately don't go to anymore. So it takes a little while, but it's worth doing if you want to make kind of like a galaxy type landscape, because it makes blending it a lot easier. So adding my rose madder hue there, just randomly putting it in to make a sky, and then letting it just kind of like letting the paint come off the brush, not forcing it. Adding a bit of violet there, and you can see it kind of blending a lot easier on the wet watercolour board. Sometimes you do have to wet the paper again if you haven't used enough water for it to blend, but that's fine. You kind of can do that as you go, which is what I actually did. So just avoiding painting the places that you don't want to be painted yet, and adding some cerulean blue in here. Now when I started painting this I thought it looked absolutely horrendous and wasn't actually going to turn out any good, so if you try it yourself just keep at it, because I ended up blending and blending and blending and adding colour, and it actually starts to look a lot better here. As you can see, I just added some of the rose madder hue and it looks a lot more blended now. From doing this as well, from using the blue, I actually managed to get kind of a glow around the planets and the mountains, which I was really pleased with. Running out of paint here. Didn't put enough in. So I'm just blending together the violet and the rose madder hue here, and just to make a darker colour so that I can outline my mountains. Same thing here, just let the paint just come off the brush naturally, and then you actually get a more you get more texture doing that. I'm just adding a bit of black there just to add another mountain in so that it was a different colour, slightly different colour from the first mountain. Again, just let the paint come off the brush naturally. That was actually something I have learned from watching Bob Ross videos. I haven't tried oil paint yet because I'm a little bit scared to, but I might in future. So here I'm just putting some highlights on the mountains, just to try and make them stand out a little bit more, so they have a bit more character. Mountains are actually very fun to paint. This is my first time actually trying to paint mountains. And then I added a little bit of the violet and rose madder hue that I mixed there to the Chinese white, just to make kind of a very, very pale lilac colour to start off on the planets, and then put some of that dark colour on top. And this was actually something that I thought of on the spot. It was right, okay, I want my planets to look like they have halos, so let's just blend some white in there and hope that it works, and luckily it did. Yeah, I'm not a very experienced watercolour painter, as you can probably tell, but I only used 2 brushes for this. I used that very thick brush, which is actually really, really nice to paint with, and also a really thin brush, which I actually struggled to get out here because it didn't want to come out of the case at all. So I do apologise for that. You can laugh at me struggle. Brushes do not like me. I don't usually paint. I was trying to show you what the brush number was, but the camera wouldn't focus. So just going around here with some more white, just letting the paint come off the brush, just to give the impression of light and shadow around the planets. Mixing some more of the violet and rose madder hue, and also a little bit of black in there as well, just to make sure that it's a different colour from everything else in the picture. So this is where I started to add kind of land with a little bit of a stream going through, because I thought that would look quite cool, and I like to paint that apparently. I'm just rambling on here. So this again was the colour that I'd just mixed with some white in it, just so that it was a different colour from everything else around it, so you could tell that it was kind of like an otherworldly stream, I guess. And of course you can't have a planetary scene without stars in the sky. So just putting some stars in here, just picking random places to put them. Not everywhere in the picture, but in a little bit of the picture. And then just added, I actually forgot to colour in this little planet over here. But same thing, just let the colour come off the brush. And making the planets look a little bit more like planets as well, with some light and shadow here. So just very, very carefully just going in with the little brush and just letting the paint kind of come off the brush naturally, so that you don't get solid colour. It worked very well. So you just follow the shape round. And then I just kind of put some more of the white and lilac colour in there, just to make it look a little bit more like there's lots of stars that you can't actually make out in the background, kind of like the Milky Way here, because if you ever get a chance to see the Milky Way, it does actually look like a wisp through the sky. It's very cool. So this is the finished picture. Now I did take a picture of it today after it's been dried, and the colour has faded a little bit, but it's still quite nice. I did kind of paint it in the dark yesterday because it was night, and I just had my desk lamp, well, desk lights, but it still looks pretty cool when it's dried today. So thanks very much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed watching me paint this, and I hope you'll subscribe maybe and join me for future drawings, paintings, etc. in future. So have a good day. Thanks very much.